So what if we gave Initiates Rift minions instead of regular ones? You know, twice as large, twice the HP, twice the damage, 25% melee resist, and 30% spirit resist. Most importantly though, if you kill a Rift minion, you get no souls. And we also gave comeback mechanics to the minions, just in case. So who wins 6 Initiates with Rift minions, or 6 Eternus players? Let's find out. Eternus versus Initiate, but they have Rift minions. As you can see, instead of having their normal minions, these Initiates have only Rift minions. How are the Eternus gonna handle this? Well, they're not here. They're all doing mid, led by Free the Frogs, former #1 Vindicta in EU. They have decided, you know what? Screw the lanes. We're gonna lose those Guardians anyhow. Let's start with a very early, very precise mid boss. I don't think you're ever gonna see a freaking minute 1 Rejuvdle mid boss, but I do have Transparent here. Maybe Transparent, what do you think about this mid-boss rush?
I mean, it's a way to get souls. Rift minions, of course, don't give you any souls. So here we are, the punching is happening, and they've managed to muller that boss into a pulp and get these rejuvenated crystals.
That is a very good strategy. The souls, the extra lives, the 1 or 2 errant initiates who are gonna just walk in there and completely die because there's 6 Eternus players looking at you. I mean, yeah, but the Guardians, as the Eternuses predicted, are already going down. These are Rift minions. They have twice the strength of a normal minion, and they do not give any souls, which is going to be really important. All the calculuses that all of these Eternus players are going to do this entire game. Yeah, these Initiate players are doing a lot of damage to the infrastructure of these Eternus players. I mean, we do see some of them have gone for Egg, Trophy Collector, like an eclectic mix of first items from the Eternuses, right?
Yeah, I mean, as you say, they've got to try and get souls somehow. Trophy Collector seems like a good way to do it if they're hunting for kills, and Egg's always going to be a little bit handy, but they are going to sacrifice that damage, which that damage still applies to lots of things around the map.
Yeah, that NPC damage can be a killer, especially when, you know, you can make an argument, I don't know if it's a great argument, but you can make an argument that one of these Rift minions might be stronger than an Initiate right now, so I don't know if you were willing to give up 10% of your damage to beat them, but yeah, it is a bit difficult to see how the Eternuses are going to approach this. They already have a big soul deficit, one of them has died, and I mean, I don't know, the Eternuses are struggling.
Yeah, they really are. But here, Drifter goes in, tries to get onto this Wraith. That claw from Bebop doesn't quite reach them. And Wraith is going to escape, but not before getting knocked off the zip line. And a quick melee means that Drifter gets themselves another kill and an important stack of that Blood Scent.
Yeah, those stacking abilities, as you said earlier, Transparent, are going to be so freaking important in this game because Soul Lead is just not going to matter as much. This Vindicta is doing a lot of work up there in the air. She's going to be mainly immune to minions, but this Apollo is escaping with 4 HP. Oh god, and you're going to have to go to chase. 1 bullet is all that it takes, but I mean, you see this Vindicta is getting shredded by the Rift minions as she is chasing. You can't just like walk next to them.
No, and for that, she gives up the first walker of the game. It took a little bit longer than I thought it would, Gluten. They had such a big momentum, but yeah, those Eternuses can hold out once they're a bit more organized after taking that mid-boss.
One choice I particularly love is that 7. 7 is certainly one of the best lane clear characters in the game. I mean, just look at this. He's going to pop in his ball, he's going to pop in his power surge, and he clears a whole lane of all these Rift minions that normally are just so freaking strong in a matter of seconds.
I mean, you say a matter of seconds, but it's taking a little bit of time here. Wraith, meanwhile,
a matter
is
of comparable seconds. A matter of comparable seconds.
And that should help them fairly significantly, but it's the rest of the team that are going to really, really struggle. Wraith managing to get a kill against this Eternus player as well is going to help them. They've picked 2, well, technically 3 people who really excel of just shooting their gun. We've got Viper, Wraith, and Ivy here, so maybe trying to chase down these Eternus is a great idea for the Initiates.
I mean, it's not just about shooting your gun, right? It's about the very specific act of having a character that's always going to be more souls than their opponent, right? There are some characters who really like being more souls than your opponent. Wraith is one of them, and you're gonna be because there's not enough souls in the game, right? Like the Eternuses are limited to trophy stacks, cultist sack if they choose to get it, farm, boxes, and the occasional kill, right? There's just no farm in those lanes, and it's already showing its value.
Yeah, maybe going for a lot of these mercenary camps. I've seen sort of 7 being picking those up across the map as they should. But Bebop here is scouting out, maybe looking for a little hook. They don't have their ultimate ability yet. They are 2.1k souls. They are so far behind. There's no way that even as an Eternus they can step up without the help of this Drifter who's maybe looking for a flank.
Yeah, the Drifter might be looking for a flank, but right now, the big problem is that the Eternuses are just a lot faster at coordinating. There's 2 Initiate players there, and they're just getting hammered by a 3-pick, 4-pick of characters there. I mean, like, this is how you're meant to win the game. Just try and get these 2v1s, 3v1s, because you're sure as hell not going to win by pure macro alone. This Graves is looking deep in enemy territory. That Venom is not enough to kill her, and she's probably going to be able to make it out. The Viper is kind of scared, and the Walkers are just dying.
I mean, it's an easy way for the macro fix to have these super minions all over the place. Oh, a tiny low sound coming out, but it's dodged out by this Dynamo. Really well played here by them. And I think this Apollo will be going down.
Is that 7 in the exact same position where we live? Can we look at him again? He's just vibing. He's just staying there. Standing here, I realize. Okay, never mind. Continue, please.
Listen, it's usually a great idea to have your 7 in the offlane defending this pushed in, but these minions give no souls. This 7 is struggling. They are on 3k souls. They are behind this Drifter and Vindicta considerably. And so we may well be having the Drifter and Vindicta being the ones who have to completely mow down this Initiate team. Yeah, they're going to have to be a little bit careful at these times, but still these minions are just pushing in because I think, you know, Initiates roaming around together is probably the right play. They don't really care too much about soaking every lane. Their minions are going to be pushing out. Now, Gluten, I did want to ask, before we see that, let's see if this Apollo can get the kill.
Oh, no. What a dodge. That Dynamo gets out. That Apollo, oh my god. It might cost him a walker, though, but I mean, the Dynamo does get out. Eternus dodging insane.
I mean, that happens way more often than you think on Apollo with those auto attacks that seem to not hit anywhere past your front nose. As we see a little bit of an ambush here on the ambusher themselves. Wraith and Apollo desperately trying to put them down, but a little rotation's going to happen instead. Now, I was going to ask Gluten, they've picked Graves on the side of the Eternuses. Now, obviously, she can help a little bit with push, but what else do you think this hero might be doing in this draft?
So, okay, here's my theory, right? So, you know that Graves has a very easy counter, right? Which is just shoot the skulls and shoot the zombies, right? And even in the game of Eternus players, it is not as trivial as it sounds, right? You're like being surrounded by them. Can you imagine the game of Initiates? Like, how accurate are they going to be at shooting the skulls? And that gives Graves effectively a damage amplifier. That is, I think, the theory of these Eternus players. I don't think the goal is, you know, doing something with it. It's just putting those ults on the side lanes, having a bunch of Grave skulls, and using that to like pressure the Initiates far more than they normally would have been pressured by Graves against Eternus players.
Yeah, well, it all makes a lot of sense to me as we do see Drifter getting a little bit swapped around here. Them and Vindicta are happening, but a good ulti from Paige means that I think this Paradox gets away with their life.
Yeah, and Vindicta is going to be able to deliver that urn. She does also have that movement buff, which is incredibly important. Vindicta can profit a lot of mobility. She is a very fragile hero, and she is right now the sole lead of Team Sapphire. With 9k soul difference, I think that you really want to make sure that you as a Vindicta can survive. You're going to be so important. Graves has been picked. Tiny Nosan is in the shop, but there's no targets for it. Has to be unleashed.
Yeah, I mean, you say this Vindicta has the most souls on the Eternus team, but she actually has more than some of the Initiates who have been able to soak up these waves. She's doing really well, and she has, I can confirm, 1 stack on Trophy Collector. It's not as many as I thought.
Yeah, the 1 stack on Trophy Collector is a bit low. But, I mean, those stacks are popping up. Those are 2 huge picks. This Drifter is likely going to get away. He does have that teleport if he needs it, if he can find a good target for it. And this Wraith is going to go and chase that Vindicta. Nope, just retires and goes back into that very safe position. Those Rift minions are just so good at ensuring that you're never, ever going to fight an equal fight against those Eternus players. But Rift is the name of the game right now, and that Rift is going to matter so much. The Eternuses really, really need it. It's going to be a comeback Rift. It's going to give them maximum resists, and I think that that is incredibly valuable. You just want to be positioning for it, and we do already see this Bebop has activated their ult. The Paradox is down, and that's going to be a whole bunch of Eternuses contesting here. I think that this Rift is lost for the Initiates. The big question is, of course, what is the follow? What does the follow-up look like? Do you think they're going to go push all the way to base with those minions? That's the only shot they have.
Yeah, of course, this Vindicta has plus 30 stacks on their gun, so that can help with shredding through these buildings. But with the tiny low sound coming out, gets dodged out. It looks like that rift is going to be secured here by the Eternus players. And
it's a solid source of souls. I mean, the soul difference, which was what, 9k, has already shrinked a fair bit. And this Vindicta is looking there in the sky, trying to make something happen. Dynamo does have that ult, which is probably the most important ult in any mid. So we're going to have to see, are the Initiates going to be able to contest it? We do see one of them, two of them not in there. Bitter might be thrown too early. And the Dynamo ult is massive. The Eternus is secure all 3 rejuves.
Yeah, Petrifying Bowler has not been upgraded with a single point, so does not have the AoE and does not have the ability to steal boss from the Eternuses. Certainly not when they are this coordinated. Really good stuff from them. That's going to give them a few more souls and a few extra lives that they don't necessarily need, but can absolutely use to make a few extra plays.
The big problem, of course, for Team Eternus is that macro. As they were doing that mid, instead of being able to, you know, use those several picks that they did, use that Rejuve advantage to try and push something out, they are stuck babysitting waves. But the soul difference is almost equal now, which makes me want to reiterate one of the rules of the game. So, Transparent, what do you think happens with Rift minions when you have soul disadvantage to your enemy?
Well, you usually get a little bit more, and potentially they get a little more resistant. Is that right, Gluten?
Well, you do get a little bit more, and so will the Initiates if they end up in a soul deficit. From this point onwards, you will, instead of seeing 4 Rift minions a wave, you'll start seeing 5, 10, 15. I think 15 is the max. So this is going to be really, really important. It's not like, oh yeah, right now the Eternuses have managed to equalize the souls, therefore they've won the game. No. They have waves of Rift minions to go through.
Oh my gosh, that is going to be absolutely carnage if they get themselves any further ahead. This Drifter and Vindicta have certainly been the sole leaders, trying to find these kills on the flank here. Drifter desperately looking in for it, but Wraith is going to be able to shred through that 7 and get a second life off them, meaning that's a permanently dead Eternus as they're looking for this grave. She falls low, but that's going to be 2 rejuves as well, with the Bebop going down, and with no more rejuves left, the Ivy stomps on top of them, and they are trying to get a further few kills here, Gluten.
A further few kills that are going to matter a lot. The Initiates have completely destroyed the Eternus position. They're getting still parried though, but I mean, this Graves is not going to win this 2v1. And the problem is that every time you try an assault like that, you're losing on the macro side. The waves are going to be pushed. It's like starting not -2 shrines, but -15 shrines in this position.
Yeah, it is so tough. And I think the Eternuses are forgetting that they are getting stat checked as well. You know, they have less boons because of those less souls. It's not just about the items. The HP, the gun damage, it's all less than you think you would. And so you can't necessarily outplay them at every moment in the game.
Yeah. I mean, and at the same time, of course, picks are happening left and right. Those trophy collectors are going to do a lot of work the later the game goes. The urn has been collected from Team Eternus, and I mean, again, it doesn't seem like there's one side that has a clear advantage so far. But right now, the big focus of Team Eternus seems to be just being on the opponent's side of the map, trying to get picks wherever possible, trying to steal their farm wherever possible. The soul lead is favoring them. I mean, it's just the nature of the superior macro. And the next rift has popped up.
Yeah, so 7's been sent back to do a lot of defending, but there's a group of 4 Eternuses here positioning very far forward, zoning out the Initiates. Meanwhile, the Initiates potentially looking for something else around the map. They're coming in for the flank, but Dynamo sure spots them as Ivy drops in the Apollo, trying to make something happen. Riposte doesn't quite connect, and we are going to see a root here. And the rest of the Eternuses trying to laser down anyone who comes near.
Yeah, I mean, the big problem, of course, is there's just not enough soul difference to justify doing this rift. It is a very dangerous situation. You do have to deal with stuff like the Dynamo ult, and I mean, the rift has been secured by Team Initiate, though, instead of being secured by Team Eternus. How the hell did that happen?
Did they just push too far off and there was Ivy nicely sat on the point? It seems like that happens. Ivy's still very much going to fall here. Wraith pushing forward. They can do some damage. They have 16k souls. It is enough to make a dent. And they have a big wave of not just their own Rift minions, but the Rift minions from the Rift.
Double whammy indeed, and they're trying to see if they can push forward. That Vindicta is a little bit exposed there. Maybe a card or two. A telekinesis could change the whole nature of the game, but she's just going to be able to elegantly go back to base. Urn is going to be a very, very important pick. It's going to help with that soul difference. That Rift was a huge boon to Team Initiate. And at the same time, a big fight is brewing on lane number 2. And that's where you want to be if you're that Wraith and Viper. You are the M1s after all. This Ivy is just getting picked. And that's 2 huge picks. The mid-boss is yet again here. Do we think we're going to see another one?
I mean, surely. We know that the Eternuses love it. They went from minute 1 for it. They're going to go for it here at minute 21. And they are still able to take it, no matter of a doubt.
Yeah, I mean, it's not a bad strategy. It has been working. Team Initiate is not going to be anywhere close to as coordinated as the Eternuses are. But instead, they're just getting base Guardians. I mean, the Eternus base is wide open right now. As this mid-boss is happening, only 7 is there. That Paradox could have pushed if she chose. But yeah, just 3 rejuves. Of course, the Initiate numbers are going to dwindle if they keep getting caught out of position, but it is the Eternuses who are getting caught out of position. That Graves is a very slow character, the Viper. Unfortunately, does not have the chase here. On the other hand, this Ivy is, you know, trying to pick the Drifter. Gets a very good stone form there, but it is not going to matter. That Drifter is too healthy, too powerful, and has that Hunter's Aura too. Is going to give him a whole bunch of Pierce, and that's several picks. I think the Eternuses are allowed to just move to the Walker.
Yeah, and we definitely can see them looking to grab onto this Apollo. They're not getting out. There's no Eternally Losan that can make you escape this amount of Eternuses. And look, even Paradox having to hide away in this cupboard. I don't think that's very friendly of you, Bebop.
Yeah, I guess it is not very friendly to achieve almost a team wipe here, but that is exactly what Team Eternus has achieved, and that is going to be a walker. I mean, the Eternuses do need to do a lot of base damage. They need to compensate for the fact that those Rift minions have shredded their base guardians, have wounded their shrines. I mean, they need something here, but instead they choose to just back.
Yeah, I guess they have the patience on their side. They can just keep clearing these waves, and they can just keep looking for picks as this Drifter looks to chase down Apollo as they've got nothing left here. Fury Trance activated, trying to shred through the last little bit of the HP of the Apollo, but enough was done, and Apollo gets out.
Yeah, Apollo is always going to be like one of the nimblest characters in the game. Ebola is thrown in the middle of the enemy formation, trying to pick that Drifter, who is kind of deep, does have the Grace for support, and that Wraith is so low, it is going to die. And with that M1 dead, I mean, Team Sapphire does have a lot more staying power than you would think.
Yeah, they absolutely do, and they are going to try and keep doing something, but Graves goes down. With this Viper chasing them, I think Drifter was more than happy to keep fighting, but maybe backing out with their tail between their legs for now.
Yeah. The only person who's allowed to 6v1 is Shiv 15 patches ago. Everyone else, 3v1 at most.
Yeah, I mean, it can happen to anyone, but here Paradox is definitely trying to siege onto their base, and they're looking to go for a 3v1 themselves, but not quite the expertise here.
I mean, the fact is, though, those Rift minions have been incredibly valuable in making sure that those shrines are always attackable. And, I mean, you could do a wave attack all the way till Patron's down. Maybe getting those... I don't even know, how do shrines interact with Rift minions? Like, if the Rift minions are... if you kill the opponent's shrines, you get, like, bigger Rift minions? Is that how it works? I haven't even thought about that. That's how irrelevant that is.
That's how we're going to have to wait and see to see if it happens here, as Wraith has to get out here. But they do manage to get the takedown onto Bebop. This is a couple of Eternuses falling, even when they're ahead in souls. Drifter, though, able to still pick up another kill. Bowler comes out, disrupting Drifter's flow. But they will still pick up that urn to try and take it over for a load of souls for themselves once again. Yeah, I mean, a 30k Drifter scaring any lobby, but right now they just have to hunt down Initiates and make sure they can take them out one by one, no matter what. But here comes a siege onto the base from the Initiates, looking to take down a shrine, and they are more than capable of doing it. But here out comes the curse, and Page is going to fall almost definitely.
Yeah, it survives for a little bit more than I would have thought. The stone form comes in, Ivy's trying to do as much damage as possible, but I mean, this is serving as a little bit of a distraction as that Rift is being contested. The Apollo and the Viper are here, and the Graves is just so low. The Drifter is not there, the Vindicta is not there, but the Dynamo ult comes in, and that should be enough to give them a little bit of time. But with the Wraith being here, yep, it is finally secured for the Initiates. Again, every single time the Initiates are doing something impressive on the map, and the shrines are going down. The Rift is going down, and they're getting even a picker too.
Vindicta wasn't in position. I think if Vindicta comes there, they take it easily. But she was out in the far lane, helping Seven out, pushing things away. But here we see Drifter, time to do their main thing, which is getting off that Viper ulti onto themselves.
I mean, again, look at how much damage that Drifter is just dragging. I've seen like 2 ults on it, 3 ults, Apollo Sun comes in. And the Drifter is still alive! Like, the Initiates are in a much weaker position ending into this team fight. But of course, you don't need to be in a stronger position. You just need to be in a stronger macro position. And those waves are pushing.
Yeah, and Drifter being able to get away there after I think 4 ultis basically were committed onto him is incredible news for the Eternuses. But still, these shrines are now being taken down, and Wraith is doing the classic Wraith thing of pushing onto them. But still, ooh, a curse and a silence mean that they do fall.
Yeah, I mean, I think that it's not a bad idea to just suicide. The big problem is, of course, what happens when the patron is down. Up until the patron being down, objectives do not heal unless they have, you know, backdoor protection. But after the patron is down, I mean, the Eternuses can fight there indefinitely, and this is going to be one big problem that the Initiates are going to have to figure out.
Yeah, I mean, they're doing fairly well, but as you say, like every time someone dies one after the other, it's just going to be longer time that they are 6 up and available. And it just means that they're going to be constantly weaker, and the Eternuses are much better in these smaller skirmish fights, as we see this Apollo desperately trying to get away from this Dynamo and Vindicta. But I think Vindicta has more than enough gun damage to take them out, despite a very good parry by the Apollo player.
I mean, and at the same time, the Eternus is always multitasking. Managed to secure the 4th mid of the game. I think it's the 4th mid of the game. Fantastic work so far.
Yeah, Petrifying Bolus still not yet fully upgraded, so Viper won't be able to do anything there. As we see the Black Hole coming out, catching onto 2. It's going to be Viper going down. Page is very, very low. Can the Bebop get the confirmation? We'll have to wait and see as... Ooh, this Page does indeed get blown up.
Gluten,
and
I am a
Wraith?
wave slave. This is the poor 7. But I mean, the Eternus is finally a glimmer of hope on their side. A 20k soul deficit. We're going to have to see if the comeback souls are going to be enough. So, well, the comeback rift minions are going to be enough here. But yeah, I think that this is just a very bad situation for Team Initiate now.
Yeah, it's a little bit tricky as we do have everyone, apart from 7 here, desperately trying to take down these structures, and they're doing well to put damage after damage. As I say, the Initiate team are never at full capacity. They're never at full power, one after the other. They're coming in to defend, but it just means they don't have the full team to be able to take any sort of defense.
And in the meantime, you see on the mini-map, you see the waves of comeback minions. You see the 12, the 15, they're just coming. It is the case that they're going to have to go back. The Vindicta has already gone back to try and defend the massive waves coming in. The rest of the Eternuses are pushing, but that's going to give the Initiates a little bit of breathing room as they try to wrap this game up. These Eternus players are just too freaking good.
I mean, it's hard, but you know, you just have to give one lane to one person and have Drifter and Vindicta siege onto this patron. As we see, Dynamo gets taken out. They don't have their ulti for some time. No refresher either for 100 seconds. So they're going to have to just back away and keep calm. And yeah, I think it's a little bit of a breather here for the Initiates as these mass wave minions do come down, equalizing pressure across the board.
And I mean, with 30, 40 minions at any given time on the map, they just might. The push is coming in, though. Team Eternus is looking to get the last walker, trying to get a flex slot, trying to get some more souls. This Viper is on the ground, and oh boy, on the ground is not where you want to be against a Vindicta.
Vindicta with 60 extra damage on their bullet, or it might be more than that. I think we've got different
it's
things.
180. 180. That is insane.
Is a lot, but still, this Apollo is desperately trying. And Tiny Losan, is it going to be in range? It is, and Vindicta is surely going to go down. No, the counter spell.
The counter spell is fantastic. This Vindicta is, of course, the former #1 Vindicta in the entirety of EU, and people know about the cheating problem in EU. Can you imagine being better than all the cheaters? That is the power of Free the Frogs. But the Rift is here. The Rift is trying to be picked up by this Drifter, but he just has to be clearing waves at all times.
Yeah, you know, you've got to babysit everything. You still have a 30k advantage in souls, and that means there's still a lot of Rift minions spawning in every single wave. It doesn't mean that the Initiates have yet to have a breather where all 6 of them are alive for a little while. they need to just be a bit patient. They've talked about maybe having a bit of a death ball, trying to find something together, but being behind on souls is tricky for these initiates. But being behind on souls and being dead is even harder.
Yeah, especially at the 33-minute mark. Those cooldown timers for death are just not exactly what you want to be seeing here. You want to be regrouping. You want to be forcing a 6v6. I think that if I was a team initiate right now, I would be looking at that rift. Just try and get the next rift. And they do get a pick here, actually.
Oh, a pick on Drifter on top of that means that they are absolutely in a good spot. Still, Vindicta, though, doing a lot of damage. She's got a counterspell, but she will now be stunned off. Top of that, she's falling lower and lower with 200 HP, desperately trying to kill up with that bullet lifesteal. A quick reload means that she gets a headshot, but it doesn't quite keep her alive. Another pick on a soul leader. Gluten. This might be a bit of a turnaround spot.
I mean, yeah, the initiates, the Eternuses were just too overeager, and now the Rift minions are just going to be pushing. Okay, rule of thumb, always ban Vindicta and draft. They did ban Calico, and I think it's a good idea that they banned Calico because, you know, she gets, like, extra melee resistance removal from her pellets, so that would have been very useful in that mid-second one. But, yeah. With those Rift minions pushing, they're pushing by themselves. I think this is also another big thing. Like, when initiates have an advantage, they sometimes don't press it, but they don't need to press it. The Rift minions press it for them.
Yeah, they do indeed, and they're looking to get another kill on this Graves. And did you hear that, Gluten? That was the mid-boss spawning. It could be that the initiates could go for it, or they can just try and siege onto this base. Either way, this Dynamo is left to defend all by themselves with the company of Bebop and Seven. But I think a 7 ulti would do really well if it was off cooldown.
Yeah, no, the 7 ult is going to be important. I think that Archmother might have to sacrifice the first stage of their patron. And Hidden King can push here. They can stay here. I mean, there's like 50 Rift minions. They do have a big pick on that Biba. But that 7 ult is going to be back on time for that second round. Apollo is very pickable right now. As, of course, the Temple Guardian is going down. It is Team Initiate who is finally going to be securing a mid-boss. As I say that, oh my god, the parries are insane, but not insane enough. However, this Drifter is here, and he might just be able to wrap up and get as many of these rejuves as possible. The Dynamo ults, transparent, have been fantastic.
Yes, one after the other, and they are able to get through those rejuvenators, take down a couple of people on top of that, I think, as this Drifter is scouting out, maybe going to teleport onto this Wraith. I'm not sure about it. They do indeed, but the Wraith Elf comes out with just 100 HP. It's not enough to keep them alive, as this Drifter is absolutely one of the 2 people to take down on the Eternus team.
Yeah, those are 2 people. If you're watching this game and you're wondering, how the hell do I remove that Drifter from the equation? Well, you need a bunch of disarming hexes. That's what you need. You need it for both that Vindicta and that Drifter. It is very, very good item here. I don't think, have any of the initiates bought a disarming hex? I don't see it.
No, not a disarming hex or a metal skin to be seen. A few of them have got some bullet resist items, but bullet resilience doesn't necessarily do everything you could want. Yeah, it's a little bit tricky, but right now Eternuses are saying, all right, it's sieging up time. We're only 30k souls behind. Surely we won't get too many Rift minions spawn against us this time. We go for the patron knock.
Yeah, I mean, right now, as it stands, it is, of course, just a very, very tough situation. The patron is going down for the Hidden King. The Eternuses have managed to break that down. Those shrines are down. I mean, like, maybe they're allowed to just stay here and wrap up the game. The waves look fine. Wave 1, wave 2, wave 3 are pushed.
Yeah, it's absolutely okay. We see the Vindicta shredding away, but she gets a little bit cursed. If they can coordinate, maybe something can happen, but it's only Ivy and Wraith right now. Apollo just respawning. Can they get in that pit? Can they find something? But everyone's so healthy on the side of the Eternuses. It looks to be good. The invulnerability is out, Gluten, but can they push through a few of these heroes?
Maybe that Apollo can do something, but he just tiny little sounds back to base, and I think this is a game that goes to Team Eternus. Don't forget to like and subscribe. If you enjoy Rift videos, check out this other one where we had a Rift happen every 30 seconds. What should we do next? Comment below. Don't forget to join our Discord if you haven't already. Thank you so much to our Patreons, and have a good day, folks.